welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I am again in the test server doing another one of these Mythic comps. I think this is probably going to be the last one I'm going to be able to get out before I get kicked off the test server here. But this one is a very cool one. This is a high-end comp. This is not going to be for everybody, but it is one of those teams where it gives us goals to attain to, right? Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to bring this team, we're going to bring the DPS champion of the Myth Heiress comp to a 3-1 ratio. Not only that, we're going to be able to use Ninja with it. So a lot of shout out, a lot of props to the Dragon Beard. Please, guys, go check out his YouTube channel. Go check him out on stream. He's a very good content creator and came up with this comp, which I thought was pretty ridiculous and very smart. And anytime you can bring Ninja in one of these teams, it's always a challenge because he's got that turn meter boost on his A1, and it works only when he crits, so that causes issues with affinity. This comp, that's not going to be an issue for us. So it's very good. Regardless of affinity, this will work. Now, as always, when it comes to affinity, though, you got to make sure that Heiress doesn't take the stun. And of course, when you face Spirit, that's going to be an issue. So you're going to have to make some adjustments for that. It probably means you'll have to bring a different DPS champion in for Spirit affinity. But if you're able to build this comp, that shouldn't be an issue. This is a pretty high-end build here. Before we get into it, I do want to shout out my patrons, as always, because they're amazing. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to look at the champions. We'll start the run. I'll talk a little bit about it. Just like usual, play some awesome music. By the way, if you like the music, there's a Soundstripe link down below in the description of these videos. It's a great place to get, copyright approved music for you to use. I love it. I use it all the time. I actually listen to it just for fun. So that might be something you're interested in, but enough of that. Let's look at the champions. All right, this is the team that we're going to be running here. We've got Ninja, we've got Heiress, we've got Demitha, Seeker, and Deacon Armstrong. It's the Myth Heiress team. No real changes there, except the speeds are going to be a little bit faster, and we are bringing in Ninja into this composition. It's a crazy team. Anytime you can have champions going at a 3-1 ratio, it's kind of nuts and crazy. So, but this should be a pretty fun little build. I'm excited to see how it works. So let's take a look at the champions real quick. We'll try and go from fastest to slowest. I'll see if I can't make that happen here. So we're going to start off with Demitha, right? She's going at 280. I have her at 286 speed. I think she can go a little bit slower, like 284. As always, I will have the link to this comp in the description and the pinned comment of this video, so you can check that out directly. And then hopefully within the next week, I'll have it all on the website, so you can find it all there too, with whatever guidance is necessary. But yeah, she's going at 286 speed, which is just insanely fast. But it's so that she can go at a 3-1 ratio and go last in the comp to place block debuff. This is what's going to enable us to be an unkillable team. So it's crazy, but when you're trying to build a comp like this, it needs to be a little bit crazy. The next champion obviously is going to be Heiress. She's going to be going first, of course, for us, but she's also going pretty fast. 269 is what I have her at. I think 266 or so is about the minimum there. But yeah, having her go fast is really important. Getting her with crit rate and crit damage is really nice. She gets that free counterattack every time an ally gets attacked. So there is a lot of good damage potential in her. If I put her in a toxic set, especially, I think we could get a lot more damage out of this comp. But, you know, just showing it off right now, we're not going to be able to do that. And then we also have Deacon Armstrong. As I talked about before, that turn meter boost is what he's there for on a 2-turn cooldown. Is amazing. We got him 196 speed, and you know he's going to be placing the decreased defense for us consistently as well. That's a really important debuff to get. So I do like to build him with accuracy. And then we have Seeker, who is right after Deacon, 182 speed I have him at. Seeker obviously can do a lot of damage. If you run the Bat Eater team, you know that. So building with attack, crit rate, crit damage is a really nice thing. And as always with these unkillable teams, you're unkillable. You don't need HP. You don't need defense. Build the damage to the max. Crit rate, crit damage gloves. Get the max. Get 100% crit rate. Cap that. Put as much attack and crit damage as you can on your champions. Other than getting the speeds and accuracy if you need it, that's what you have to do. And then our very last champion, the only legendary in this comp, is going to be Ninja. And Ninja here, we have a 257 speed. Now, he is going very fast, but he's also going at 3-1 ratio. So sort of to be expected here. attack's pretty decent, good crit rate, crit damage, and the accuracy should work. So that's the team. Those are the champions. Let's go ahead and jump into the run. Okay, here we go. So I clicked it on. I think we can go full. I think I have it set up. I can actually go full auto with this team. We're going to see if this works, guys. I have not run this, so very possible we might run into some issues, but generally it's pretty simple, right? We have a 2-turn delay for Deacon. We're waiting to use that increased speed after 2 attacks. With Ninja, it's just very important that we use his A2 first. We just delay the A3 by 1 turn. That's it, and then it's full auto, works no matter what. Seeker, we do have a 1-turn delay on him as well. And then Demitha, we want to start with the unkillable ability, and then we want to follow it up with the cleanse ability, and we're good to go. So on auto, it does work. As always with Heiress, because she goes at the top of the turn and she does that cleanse ability with her speed buff, it can stay affinity friendly. I haven't been able to actually test it on affinity, so there's always, a little bit of, might run into some issues. If it does, I will let you guys know. But this should be a very affinity-friendly style team. You'll see she cleanses the stun right there, and it works nice and smooth. We get the increased attack buff from Seeker, which is nice. That really ups our damage, and it allows Ninja just to kind of go to town here. But you can see, does crazy, crazy damage. As always, that's what Ninja does. I don't have him built as stacked as I had in some of my previous Ninja guides, where he's got like 5,000 attack and stuff, so he's not doing as much damage, but still doing really, really good numbers there. That HP burn is always a nice thing, and you can see we're already at 1 million a turn, and it's only turn 4, so it's a pretty good, looks pretty good to me. I think it's going to go up pretty considerably for a champion that you pretty much got for free. It's a pretty good result, I'd say. So I'll get off the screen. I'll let this run for a little bit. And yeah, like I said, I will say you can bring another DPS. You don't have to use Ninja in this. You can use a Draco or somebody else. You just have to make sure the speeds align. So the speeds for that spot might be a little bit different, but it does work. So just know you need to adjust it up or down by a couple points, and it should fall into sync even without Ninja there. You don't really have a substitute for Deacon or Seeker, or and obviously you can use somebody else for Heiress, but you can even use like a Lydia or somebody like that. Tuhana Rock is always good, but if it's not Tuhana Rock, if it's not Heiress, it's not going to be affinity friendly because they won't cleanse at the top of each turn. A Doom Priest is not an acceptable substitution, unfortunately. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll get off the screen. You guys can watch and enjoy the music. 1 key damage. Easy 1 key damage. 45 million by Ninja. Just a little bit of damage that he did. Just a little bit. I mean, pretty good, all in all. I think everybody did pretty solid damage on that team. When you see Heiress doing the same as Seeker, basically, that shows how much potential she actually has, even as a damage dealer in this game, which is surprising. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You go that fast, you're going to do good numbers. And Ninja obviously is doing really good numbers. I think if you brought in someone like Draco, you could get even higher numbers than that. So there's definitely a ton of potential to this type of a team. Obviously, the requirements are super high, so it's not for everybody, but kind of a fun team to build anyway. So there you go, guys. We got a Myth Heiress team involving Ninja. So there you go. If that's something you want to do, the 3-1 Myth Heiress, this definitely is out there. It is something that you can build. I don't know that that's something I would build necessarily. I might want to save some of that speed gear for something else. But, this is a great opportunity for people that don't have, other unkillable champions other than Demitha. This is something that's very much doable for you. You don't need any legendaries to, I think it's pretty safe to say you wouldn't need any legendaries to be able to 1 key. I think you could bring in a Fane, you could bring in a Nax. There's a variety of champions you could bring in to do pretty good damage with this kind of a squad. The interesting things about this too, there's no weaken, right? Ninja doesn't have it. Deacon doesn't have it. There's no weaken in this team. There are absolutely no poisons. If we put a toxic set on anybody, we would have easily added another 10, 15, maybe even 20 million damage to that run. So there's tons of potential with this type of a team. Definitely some ways you can build it even without the gear that I'm using and still have really, really good results. So yeah, that was pretty fun, pretty interesting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed this Demitha series of unkillable teams. I know a lot of people are struggling because she's so hard to get. But, if you're lucky enough to have been able to get her, great. Now you have some teams you can build. You still have the opportunity to be able to pull shards for her, just like a man-eater. So this definitely going to be, these teams are definitely going to be around in the community for a while. So anyway, guys, hopefully this was helpful for you. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.